I want to move on to a game I like to call Choose Between Two. So, Sean, what this game is that I'm going to give you two choices. You're going to choose one of them and you're going to expand on your choice on there. And I try to make it so it's kind of like built around your tastes and what you like and such. Are you ready to play?
All right, let's go.
So, we're going to start off with a uh, blockbuster filmmakers going up against each other. Who do you prefer, Steven Spielberg or James Cameron?
Ooh, that is super tough, but I feel like the filmography of Spielberg is much more diverse and stronger. So I'm gonna go with Spielberg, even though James Cameron does have like one of my favorite movies of all time.
Do you think James Cameron taking so long with projects is an asset or a hindrance in regards to his whole kind of legacy? Because a lot of the stuff that he did, like from Terminator up to Titanic, he was rather consistent with a lot of those films. And then post Terminator to Avatar, I don't even know if there was anything in between it. I don't think, no, so post Titanic to Avatar, I should say. And I don't think there was anything in between there besides maybe some documentaries. And then Avatar, the first one to the second one, like we're looking at decades like in between, like this kind of stuff. Do you reckon that that is a hindrance towards him? Or do you think he's kind of like perfectionist mindset and trying to create these huge, epic kind of world building kind of things? Is that something that kind of makes him unique in the space of blockbuster filmmaking?
I think James Cameron is one of the goats out there, and it's not due to his films that he did. Yeah, I love like Terminator Judgment Day. I can watch that all day, every day. Give me that. Love it. He's
Yeah,
great films. But I feel like once he made his money with Titanic, because that made a lot of money, and I think that put him pretty
yeah,
well off. I don't know any of his details. I'm not his accountant. I think he utilized a lot of that money into research and seeing what the future of the film industry would become. He's invented a lot of stuff and has made a lot of cool things accessible to filmmakers and has really propelled that industry with technology and ideas forward. And I think that's his place in the industry now is just creating really cool stuff and pushing things. I mean, Avatar in 3D was amazing. We didn't see
yeah.
anything that was so authentic. And then some people have tried it, was gimmicky and stuff like that, but he really showed how you can make a 3D film amazing. And so going forward, I think we're just seeing with the mocap stuff, he's just really pushing the technology and finding ways. Like he's kind of like the Elon Musk, I feel like, of the movies, is what he
Yeah,
is.
it's a really good comparison. I like that. So talking about, I know you love cars, and I'm sure you watch a lot of films that are to do with cars, car chases, etc. So two of the most infamous car chases in cinema, you got Bullet, with Steve McQueen, and then you got The French Connection, Gene Hackman. Of those two car chases, where it usually comes down to like one or two on a list, maybe Ronin can be thrown in there too. But of Bullet and French Connection, which of those two did you prefer as a car chase on cinema?
I gotta go straight for Bullet just because of that Mustang. It's so iconic.
Mm,
It is,
it is
and I got to see that car in person, and I have a picture
nice.
with it. It's really cool. Uh, just Steve McQueen in general is really iconic in the car, the Bullet. And like Ford has made Bullet Mustangs, right? And that green and stuff like that. I have to go with that one. It's just so iconic, and it's still a test of time right now that they're still making like
Yeah.
Bullet Mustang variations.
It's such a great scene too. Bullet's one of my favorite Steve McQueen movies. And the interesting thing about that scene is like there's no music soundtrack to that scene. It's actually just the sound of the cars themselves. That's the
That's
soundtrack.
music to my
Um,
ears.
yeah, which I think is kind of unique for like late 1960s movies. Usually they just have like music plastered everywhere in those films. Interesting. Okay, next one. You're watching the film. Do you prefer CGI effects or practical effects?
Ooh, it depends. But to be honest, I appreciate practical as much as possible. Uh,
Hmm.
it can't be done with everything, but a lot of stuff in practical, I love it. I have to go with practical, and Burden has showed that. Tim Burton, a lot of stuff he prefers practical, and even though some of it's not as great, it's creative and it's fun and it adds a little bit more flair to the storytelling. And on top of that, if you can pull off a lot of the action scenes practical, it's even just as more badass, to be honest.
I think so too. Yeah, especially like if you're looking at like movies like in the 70s and 80s, kind of action scenes, horror kind of stuff as well.
I mean,
I
like
think
Mad
a lot of
Max,
it's yeah, yeah, yeah,
like Fury Road, just all that they're that a lot of that
yeah.
stuff. I know there's CGI, but a lot of the practical stuff is really impressive for that stuff as well.
Yeah, even going further with the Mad Max stuff, like I still think the second movie, Road Warrior, has the like speaking of chase scenes. The last 30 minutes of that film is just one extended chase scene, and that's just all practical stuff as well. It's just still fantastic to watch. Do you prefer streaming or physical media?
Ooh, that's a really good question. For a long time, it was all about physical media. So I have my VHSs, I have my DVDs, I have my Blu-rays, and then I was buying all the steel books when it came to all the Marvel phase stuff. And then
Mm,
all of a sudden, I mean, they got it. Prices weren't dropping. They weren't really on sale anymore. Like, right? I was trying to find
yeah,
bargain bins. You can't find those anymore. I mean, when things come out,
yeah.
they're skyrocketing and then they're selling on the eBay or somewhere for like triple the price. I'm like, this is a weird collection, right? A collector's world right there. I slowed down on physical media just because I think I'm paying a lot for all the streaming stuff now. So
Yeah.
it it's expensive either way you go now. Movies are not cheap for physical. You want 4K UHD and you want the steelbook. I mean, that's gonna be $60 already just for one
Mm,
film. And then you're paying a lot now with the all the streaming services. So I prefer streaming, to be honest. I don't know the last time I popped in a movie. I think all I have right now is a PS4, which obviously plays Blu-rays, but doesn't play 4K. I
mm,
don't think it can handle the 4K, but I have the TV that can. So that's probably one of the reasons I haven't bought physical as much. I am blessed that sometimes I'll be sent a copy for review and stuff like that. So I'll pop into my parents have a 4K player. I made sure they had one, not me, apparently. I'm such a great son, I guess. I made sure they
mm.
had the 4K because I'm mostly
Uh,
streaming on my end too.
yeah. Last one with to choose between two. You go to the cinema, sitting down to watch a film. What's your go-to cinema snack? Popcorn or candy?
Boom. So it's candy for sure. It's a weird thing. I don't like popcorn as much anymore. I
Mm,
used to a lot, but for some reason it's doesn't do much for me unless it's hard. And to be honest, a lot of places have different popcorn and butter combinations now, and none of them taste consistently. So like I don't know what the ideal popcorn is supposed to taste like. They're all different now.
yeah.
But candy, I like Twizzlers or some type of chocolate. But to be honest, the places that have the pizza, they get my money.
Ah, nice. Very cool. Very cool. Thank you for watching the Matt's Movie Reviews channel. Please subscribe for more reviews, podcast interviews, and exclusive content.